Greetings. Once again, you joined four brave souls, continuing their struggle against the evils of Barovia. Will it be in vain? Perhaps. Tell them, why do you still hold faith?
I did not expect you to phrase it that way. Well, I can tell you, firsthand, I haven't seen anything to dishearten me.
Because you're blind.
That is the joke.
Well, I mean, there's the thing that...
Why do you still hold faith?
Well, I basically don't have a choice. I'm trapped here. But I'm going to do my best.
I thought you would have gone...
Bleak. Why is it that Crack holds faith? Does not.
Can you not be 9? Jesus.
He's laughing.
You love first.
Okay.
What's his name's not Blood.
Well, he basically has no choice in the matter, and yeah, he wants to get the fuck out of here. So
You copy me.
Desperation. And what hope does Sigurður hold?
This place is in the way of going farther in, because that's the only reason he's here. Is to find the person that fucked up his ancestor and sent back like a weird thing that fucked up the village.
Well, with duty, desperation, and sight to the future, along with other reasons, you all find yourselves in this house's attic.
Jesus,
With a number of doors.
Sounds like a darkest
in front
dungeon
of you.
party. It's already fraying at the seams.
We were going to go left.
God, I wish.
We'd be fucked. There's two people that are already stressed the hell out.
It'd be good entertainment. But for the sake of your success,
Roll
probably not.
to stress out your party.
You said left.
Yeah.
That sounds right to me. Left, I believe, would be this door here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
on a side note, that'd be an interesting campaign in the road. Not for me.
What darkest
Just
dungeon?
for
Darkest dungeon campaign.
Might
Just
actually
playing.
be able to beat that kind. Just kidding. Probably eat it. It's super hard. Out of curiosity, maybe a little more. Who's first through the door?
The big...
Well, Crack should check the door for traps and a lock first. And should also maybe just, listen at the door, see if there's anything on the other side before we enter.
No. 8 plus thieves' tools, which is
No, checking is just perception.
perception. Well, then yeah, 8. But that's lower than my passive, so 12.
Crack brushes away some cobwebs and has to do a little bit of cleaning before he can actually check, and finds nothing amiss in this door that has likely gone untouched for years.
I'll say clear.
Okay.
Yeah, I will go take the door and go through.
Sigurður enters the room and is met with a very musty, very dusty room that contains a slender bed, a writing desk with a little stool, a little frayed around part of its cushion, as well as a distant wardrobe. There is a rocking chair in another unoccupied corner, and there is a little doll that sticks out with the rest because even faded, the yellow dress upon it contrasts with the rest of the room, sitting on top of the wardrobe, smiling beneath the veil-like cobwebs that wreath its head.
Does my detect magic sense anything? Like, I'll scan the room with detect magic.
Nothing comes up as magical. in this room.
And then I will have Susa check the room out.
I'll
Search the
check the wardrobe and the bed.
General search, anything
Alright.
useful?
And if you might as well take some time to check the room. While they're doing that, I will recast it. And since it should be getting close to the spellings or disappearing.
Yeah. Want it to scream again?
I need it.
Fair.
What's wrong? You don't want the house to know where you are.
I think the house knows, Dave.
It's probably already a bit late for.
Also, as my grandmother pointed out to me, I was actually pronouncing it wrong. My familiar is named Sakar,
Huh.
not Susan. So sorry. So Sakar will check out the room.
I will do my best to remember that.
My bottom's like, I can't even believe you.
Wait, she watches the videos?
No, but I was asking her about some other stuff to say,
Oh, okay.
and when I told her that my familiar was named Susa, she's like, "That's not right," and I was like, "Oops."
Did you already tell me what Sakar got?
Sakar got a 11 on checking the room out.
And you were investigating
19.
the wardrobe.
And the
You
bed.
got a 19.
Do you want a separate roll for the bed or?
No, that's
Okay.
fine. I'm just being targeted. You said you were looking at something?
Just a general search. So,
Right.
I think beat my passive, so 12 again. That's cool.
Alright.
Unless you want that actual.
Was Sigurd gazing at anything?
General search, 13.
Sakar flies about the room and finds nothing of interest. The place is old, untraveled in for quite some time. A little difficult to breathe when you get farther up, mostly because dust is being disturbed as it drifts.
Yeah.
Not dangerously so, but just a little bit.
Okay.
Rifling through the wardrobe turns up a bunch of old, broken, and corroding, what were probably personal effects at one point.
Mm.
Broken mirror, some used handkerchiefs, some what was probably some kind of cloth that is now eaten to non-recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not a garment given the drawer that you find it in. Nothing super interesting. A general search of the room turns up nothing disturbing beyond the obvious.
Okay. If there's nothing in the room of particular interest, then and my detect magic doesn't reveal anything, let's just go to another room.
Across the hallway, directly across, and then just.
We were
go
gonna-
that way.
No, let's do this room next.
Yeah.
Alright.
But
Check
start
for-
with crack.
Yeah, check what
Also, since it's just a perception check, and there's no trap finding equivalent in 5th edition, I will have Sakar perch on Crack's shoulder and assist with the looking for traps as well, because no reason I can't.
Alright.
You can't stop me!
Can't or won't.
They can stop you.
I have advantage, and you still roll garbage. 11 on Sakar.
Okay.
So, I got base 11. Do I have my wisdom right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that'd be 13. Huh?
Just making sure I'm on the right page.
Investigation.
I am.
No, it's a perception check.
Hmm.
Just making double sure.
Investigation is finding out
Alright.
information. occasionally like looking through like objects.
Crack squints and begins to inspect the door. Sakar perches on his left shoulder and you believe lends its own eyes. You find nothing amiss with the door. And, what's more, it's not locked.
Alright. Clear.
Continue through.
You enter boldly and are met by a field of white masses. Structures with heavy white cloth drapes over them dot the room.
Go to the closest one and pull it off.
Does my detect magic sense anything?
It might.
It's very
First, you advance on one of the white sheeted masses and pull it off. There's a wave of dust that flies into the air as you reveal an old armchair. Apart from perhaps a brief coughing spell, depending on how constitute Sigoder is.
Pretty
It reveals itself to be mundane in nature. Focusing upon the room, Sasha finds nothing of magical or mystical interest within the room, though there may be some other things in here. Magic is not one of them.
Okay.
General search.
Yep, same as
Let's
last time.
just pull the sheets off.
I will say, be careful. It might be some sort of insidious trap. Even if it is not magical in nature.
Going with my passive.
15.
Archive
Yeah, right.
notes on this stuff. Start searching. Should probably get that. Writing.
My passive beats this, so I pull it.
14.
Okay. Saja is looking around, and Sakar is looking around. Pardon me, my bad. Sakar is looking around, and in addition to the masses that are draped but currently being undraped by one of your companions, spots a stove off to the rear side that looks like old and sooty, just a part of the room. In addition, there are a few standing mirrors in here that Sakar is definitely smart enough not to fly into, but beholds.
It's another owl! Scar, no!
There are a few dress mannequins with nothing on them, but just stowed, tilted against one of the far walls.
Just come and bubbling and knock everything over.
I'm gonna approach the stove and give it an inspection. Does the it goes? It has a pipe that goes all the way up to the roof, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's give that pipe a look. See if there's anything.
We will give the pipe a look. You, at the same time, are ripping sheets off of what quickly turn out to be furniture of different heights and sizes and whatnot. Old chairs, dressers.
I could use a new couch. This is great. It's just loaded up on a truck, and who throws out a perfectly good couch? What kind of check do you want for checking out the pipe?
I'll just take another perception.
Then, yeah. Scar got an 19 for checking out the pipe. Probably has an easier time too, since
Yeah,
she's
probably.
tiny.
The pipe has some pretty hefty masses of material. Definitely hasn't been cleaned in a while.
Right.
But the scent
No
of
hidden shinies.
ever some squinting, no hidden shinies. There's the eventual scent of Barovian air, so in theory, this could serve as an escape for perhaps a moth.
Well, I mean,
Super
we
useful,
could
though.
rip it out and then widen it through the top. Does the mist have a smell to it?
No, more of a
Okay.
feeling.
Well, then, if we didn't find anything, might as well bail to this room.
Well,
What do you think?
not quite.
Yeah.
There are a number of things that you come across. You see your companion ripping off sheets, and that seems to be going all right. You notice another standing mirror that's like on its side, that's a little cracked, and whatever.
Now there's two of them.
I'll just
You are looking around. The bases are all pretty covered, but you get to be the first to notice that one of your companions noticed something. Talk about non-prizes. As one of the sheets that's pulled off of a mass reveals a big wooden trunk, as opposed to the others, which were coat racks and chairs and things like that.
Also, I lied. I actually have 2 spell slots. I forgot at the end of the last episode I cast False Light.
Oh,
to bring
yeah.
my HP up.
Right before we went upstairs.
Yeah, so I still have 25 HP.
Snazzy.
Alright. Just go up to it, see if it's locked.
It is not locked.
Sakara will help with that, by the way. Sakara got a 9.
21 is
Jeez, man.
21.
You move to inspect it. As you inspect it, Sigurd opens it. Thankfully, there's nothing, or rather, nothing triggers, except for the bone-chilling sensation that Sigurd must feel, because he discovers the chest contains not treasure, but bones.
Like, how?
Are these like an adult's bones or like child's bones?
Look.
It's a little difficult to tell, because they're also wrapped in a sheet caked with what smells and looks like dried blood, and a number of rips and tears.
Are the bones humanoid?
It'd be
Can I
difficult
roll
to tell without
medicine?
inspecting it.
Fair.
Can I roll medicine to determine the nature of the bones, who they might have come from, and how long they might have been here?
Sure.
Okie dokie. I will take over Sakar's perceptions to do so.
Sikar wafts over and retakes its normal perch.
I got a 13 on my medicine check.
And an inspection from medicine determines that they are definitely humanoid bones. You feel like perhaps adult range,
Okay.
but much more than that, you're not quite able to intuit.
Who's the second dead person like that
There's
in his house?
no cuts, no way I can possibly determine how he might have died.
Shoe marks.
No signs that you're finding lead themselves to an answer.
Okay.
However,
sure.
fate itself may reveal these answers. For as you are inspecting the bones, or once you've concluded your inspection and are pondering the implications of these found remains, there is a terrible shriek as a ghastly specter manifests in the center of the room. It is that of a woman. Pale, thin, frayed. Her clothing has a number of ripped slits upon it, and she beholds you with cold, wide, undead eyes.
Huh.
Does it
I think you
seem?
freaked the dogs out, dude. That's
They
how
are right to be
Jesus.
freaked out.
Does it seem immediately hostile, or is it just watching us?
Watches for a moment. And then rushes forward. An attack.
Okay.
It's okay. So, when I activate my portent ability, it's after the person rolls, but before you declare whether it's successful or not. So I know this is going to be annoying, but from now on, I basically need to see your rolls before you declare whether they work or not. And I need to do that for basically every roll that an enemy does.
Oh, if you want to use it on enemies.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that defeat the purpose of the DM screen, though?
I can see the future. So
It would seem that
basically,
there's
I wanna
nothing
see-
I can do.
I would like to see what its initiative is. I don't get to know its total score, but I get to see what it rolled on a d20 and can decide if I want to switch it with my other portent.
I normally
Very
don't
well
roll like away from everybody.
I know, I'm just noting that, because normally I try not to look at your dice, but for my ability, I have to look at your dice.
General player, GM, confidentiality, I guess.
Well, I don't like it when people
What's
look at
that?
rolls, so it's probably just respecting my personal tastes usually.
That 9 is fine. Man. I'll save my 6 for something else. Probably not going to make that much of a difference. I got for my initiative, a 21.
I was going to say, hey, if you roll a 1, that 1 could be a 6.
Could.
What does it matter? You got 24.
I know. Yeah. I got 24.
It's okay, dogs. It's okay!
Yeah, I don't know what's up. Usually.
I got spooked out by the ghost.
It's not okay,
Okay.
clearly. You said 21?
21.
What did you get?
8.
8.
Yeah.
No, you actually got a 6.
Oh!
I did that, but it wouldn't make a big deal.
I know. I'm also not saying that, but how funny would that be? I rolled higher than you, Mario. No, you didn't.
See, I think that trait would work very well with an artificer, because if you get a low roll, you just make an enemy save
And what about you?
from one of your things.
24?
Yeah.
And what did Sacred get?
I got 17.
Alright. 17, 24, 8, 21.
You don't have a dex modifier?
No.
Oh.
No, remember, main
That's
stats are strength, constitution,
Yeah.
every other stat's 11.
Oh, really?
It's fucking dice.
If you could believe.
Of course. Of course.
You were expecting the bows. Well, actually, I just read manifesting in the center of the room, so actually. that would be
It's
more
still
appropriate.
right next to me, David. It's always right next to me.
It is Crack's turn first.
Alright, I'm gonna stare. And I'll maybe do nothing, because. Let's see.
Can I roll, before he does that, can I roll, intelligence
Mind.
religion on the ghost to determine what kind of ghost it is, and, any weaknesses or
See, that's
strengths
the
it
way
might
you
have?
want to be, Jeff.
There or
Okay.
the other side?
You're fine.
Are you in here?
I was asking him.
I was giving a recommendation to my friend.
Fellow players have to stick together. That's what makes us a party.
No lie. A little weird coming.
23. 23.
Because you will point out flaws, potential flaws in people's plans. You are supportive generally. That's no lie.
Well, yeah, but we can't just have 100% faith in every
He
plan.
said
23 on the side.
Which I do believe is a hit.
Alright, 8 damage. Now my armor.
Alright.
is the D4. I'll just say
Because you're attacking with both.
Where are we at?
it's
Well,
lightning.
Oh, you're right. What?
There's a warrior in the point.
you can do it however.
Okay, 23 again.
Nice.
Yeah, I got 6 damage.
Alright. Crack aggresses and aggresses again. And while it is interesting, thrusting his hands through the ghost as if through ice, his spear tip even more so. The spear tip does not feel. You harm this creature.
Getting
You mentioned knowledge religion.
Yeah, I'd like to roll knowledge religion to determine exactly the nature of this spirit, any strengths and weaknesses it may possess.
Alright.
14.
Certain details about how it manifested, combined with the connection with the specific type of remains that you are going over, lead you to believe that this is not a garden variety ghost, but instead a specter. And as a result, similar to the ghost, be an uphill battle damaging it with non-magical things. Additionally, also, but
So
it's
do I think
possible.
resistance?
Resistance.
Right.
It's still possible, but definitely a diminished effect, which you kind of felt something similar. Maybe in a moment, your mage friend will confirm your suspicions. Additionally, you know that it is resistant to acidic, cold, fiery, electric-y, and even thundering types of damage.
Is it just like only not resistant to like sonic and light?
No, he said thunder. That's Sonic.
Oh, is
They
it?
renamed it to
Yeah.
Thunder.
Oh.
So it's not resistant to psychic, necrotic, and radiant. So
Furthermore, you are quite
Or
confident.
additionally,
You are quite confident that any attempts to deal necrotic damage or poison damage to it will be in vain. It has no veins. It cannot be poisoned.
Right.
Dice. Spirit.
How strong are these generally? And can they do like lasting damage? Basically, I'm asking to lower people's max health. I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
You don't believe so, but you know that there's some that can.
But probably not a garden variety specter.
Well, you don't think so.
And upon being defeated, will it return? Like, do I know how to permanently banish it? Do I need to bury its bones, or
Or it's just defeating it.
or
just
if
like
we
off for
destroy it, will that send it to the fugue plane?
You know, you're not 100% sure.
Okay.
Normally, defeating something like this would be enough, but at the same time, in a place like this,
It might be being
a
held.
special action to put stuff to rest is probably less a suggestion and more a requirement.
Yeah.
Alright.
If I firebolt it, I have no way of damaging it that it's confused.
Same.
Yeah, but I'm magic. So. Oh, reply to me.
Really level caster.
And here I was like, I don't need magic missile, I'll just use catapults. And Strahd's just like, no. Yeah, I'm just gonna withdraw because I didn't want it.
I could. I might be able to just shove it after I hit it. If you still wanted to be able to attack.
I'll pull out here and I will set Sakar to. Sakar will prepare an action to grant the help action to Grayla when Grayla attacks with her Shilin.
Very well.
And that's my turn.
It is now your turn.
Okay. I will draw the longsword and attempt to slash it. We'll see.
Is this ghost beyond your strength? We'll find out.
You have advantage.
Yeah, Jeff is flanking it.
Duh.
I'm gonna get
He doesn't know the same thing, does he?
Hey, it might be enough.
too high.
12.
Oh. 8 plus 6.
Plus your...
Oh, proficiency. Duh. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14. Dead.
You swing out and connect.
Oh, shit.
It is a sensation not dissimilar to cutting floating water.
Okay.
I feel
Since first tile D10.
slightly bad killing this thing since I'm pretty sure it's a murder victim, but
No, it's nothing that hasn't gone through.
Trying to kill us, we gotta strike first.
this shroom is coming through.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 damage. Then attempt, since that was successful, I will then attempt hammering horns to try and knock it a little bit farther back into the room. Just try to get some distance from everybody else, basically. Try and bump it into a corner.
Alright. It silently screams as your blade drags through it. You then give it the horns.
Well, maybe. Oh yeah, strength saving throw. Against 8, 9, 10, 12, 14. 14. We'll push back
A spectre.
10 feet.
Did you see that one?
Oh.
Or did you just mean initiative rolls?
No, I actually it's supposed to be all rolls, but this is just a save to not get knocked back.
Yes.
Then whatever I can keep, whatever I got.
Okay.
I'm more interested in initiative or attack rolls.
You attempt to thrust, but its ghostly being ties it to this world too tightly. It fails.
I only get 2. I can't go thorn
Well, you know what? That makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna rage every single fight. How many so many of us?
They come back on a short rest?
Short rest or long rest?
Might as well rage. We can spend an hour to short rest. Look at his key points back. If you get it back on short rest, go ahead. My portents only come back on a long rest, so I need to be careful with those.
Fair.
Also, if we short rest, I can get my 3rd spell slot back. Although I prefer to wait until my false life has been used, otherwise it's kind of a waste.
Yeah.
The ghastly being in front of you strikes out with pure emotion at the last person that harmed it.
Fucking you fucking horribly stage pop.
I got a 6. It probably is.
No, it
Got
got
an
18.
18.
No, I'm saying if it got a
It
6.
says change it.
How much health do you have?
24, so I can.
You're right.
No, but I can take some damage. It's not like it's gonna down me in one hit. We haven't spent hit dice
It's
yet.
fine.
So.
I'll let it. I'll let it go.
Aha, you fool! It drains your strength. Fuck.
It has to be drained shit.
And I said you don't think so.
Or does it absolutely drains max health? And it's like,
Oh,
this is what.
ooh, I knew I was already down 6, so I lost nothing.
Well,
Oh,
this
God.
damage to your current health. too.
As
That.
it lashes out, its hand penetrates armor and flesh, ripping at your vitality, inflicting 7 damage, and requiring you to make a Constitution saving.
Oh,
That's
damn
not
it.
bad. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. 23.
Your spirit, your Constitution is tested and comes out the victor. Whatever hope to achieve, whatever effect, doesn't happen. Furthermore, it is your turn.
Kill this fool.
Alright, so obviously I'm gonna use Shillelagh.
Do you want to move to the other? I guess
Yeah,
the
I'll
other side
move
of
next
Crack?
to. No, I'll move to the other side of Seeger, directly across from Crack.
I mean, you have advantage anyway.
Yeah, I know, but I rolled literally the same thing on both rolls. But it should be fine. 17 to hit.
That is a hit.
It'll be 5 for damage, unfortunately, for a 1 for damage.
But Shillelagh makes it magic.
Yeah, it is magical bludgeoning damage.
Right, so it should
You
have rolled
attack.
resistance.
Shillelagh's energy vibrantly clashing with the undeath in front of you. It slices and severs in more ways than one as the specter vanishes, deteriorizing in defeat.
Cool.
A
All right.
mournful howl is the last it leaves.
See, when that thing spawned, I was very afraid that somehow we were being made to face a banshee this early. I don't know how difficult
Hey.
banshees are categorized
Hey.
as.
Banshees would be very, very difficult.
Give it time.
I know the wail of the banshee, but that's as far as my knowledge with them
I will
goes.
say, some sort of spirit, I think, maybe related to the tragedy that created this house. If you have the space, I would like to take her bones and give them a proper burial rites. Perhaps it can put her spirit at ease. And if nothing else, they shouldn't be locked up in an attic. It's too morbid. Like something out of a bad novel.
If we keep going this way, this backpack will eventually turn into a graveyard.
Well, hopefully
But
we come across a
if it
graveyard
helps.
soon.
But I think it'll help.
How many corpses are you carrying right now?
We're carrying the bones of, like, with this thing, 3 or 4 people now.
Okay.
We'd rather just leave them and
No.
Oh, because remember, the first pile was the werewolves burying bones.
Yeah, I got you.
The price of spiritual mercy.
Unfortunately, I'm not a spirit monk today, but I can't just kick these spirits into release.
Neither could the spirit monk, actually.
Temporary. They were stilled for a little bit until the water dragon was saved and Sunlee was beaten. Spoiler alert on a forever old game.
Hey, as long as you don't name drop it, people won't get it unless
It'll
they're
be
playing.
obvious. As soon as they start, they'll be like, "Wow,
It-
Sunlee seems like a cool." Wait a second.
It would seem, well, not even seem. You have explored the room. You have found things.
There's nothing else in that chest except for bones.
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing around or behind it or anything?
It's easy enough to give a quick look. Not really.
What's
Why
this
would you
little
have short
alcove
rest?
right here?
I assume that's the.
It's an extra bit of room.
Alright.
There's a window. Curtains drawn, of course.
Well,
It's probably the same, so I'm not even bother.
It sounds like room exit to me.
Yeah.
You were pushing for that door next.
yes.
Who will approach?
I thought we were short rest first.
But yeah,
You could.
once either the hour's up and my false life has run its course, or I get hit, then well, that's what I would prefer to wait, because otherwise I just waste the false life.
Yeah, I still have rage points and I'm not critical, so I think we're
Cool.
still good.
Yeah, sounds like everybody's fine and not short resting, so.
Sakar got a 17 on its check. The drums.
Rolling, you wanted to inspect the door.
Yeah, I got 12.
Okay. And I heard you say something about an 18?
Sakar got a 17 on assisting with the door check.
Crack inspects the door. Not much to report. It's old. It's got some cobwebs. There's like a spider that briefly like scurries out from behind a crack and up a wall and vanishes into darkness.
It is an agent of law.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem here.
Nothing is.
Agents of
Well,
law.
you never know.
Always the problem.
Yeah, that's true. In Barovia, I don't think that's the main problem. Although,
Certainly not.
I can't be sure.
They're probably more generally accepted.
Drow? No.
The door doesn't seem special in any way.
So
And you find no traps.
you character see nothing in this.
I'll say. This one? That's this enter then.
Move forward.
Sasha gestures for Sigurd to take the front, and he does so.
There's a last room in here. Little swimmer.
There's
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are one.
Oh,
room.
this
there's
skull
yet
happens.
one unexplored room.
Well, that's fine. If there's nothing in here, we can.
Oh, I thought that was
Oh.
one. Oh, I mean, yeah. To be fair, how the fuck would we have known? Okay.
Well, yeah, but there was a divider here. I mean,
The room is small.
of course, that
And-
does not stop it from being full of liches and.
It is full of history, should you know where to look.
Cool.
The room itself, in addition to having a healthy dusting of cobwebs about the room, also contains a slender bed, next to which is an old oaken nightstand, provided you could recognize oak when you saw it. A rocking chair in a distant corner, and a wardrobe, but it has all the drawers pulled out. You can tell by looking that they don't seem to contain anything.
It's almost like a servant's room.
Furthermore, there's also a small iron stove within.
And
Though it is long
I'll
since cold.
recast detect magic.
Huh.
I'll check the bed and the nightstand.
Sakara 15 checking out the it's generally the room, but since she's small, she's gonna. It's easier for her to check small spaces like that.
Very much so. This one especially, as it is quite clean inside. Apart from the general dust.
Like it might have been
seems
used.
Like it might have not been used.
Ever.
Oh,
Specifically
Huh.
unused.
okay.
This might be like
strip it for important piece. I don't know.
Yeah, clearly.
iron.
I got a 23 on the nightstand bed.
23.
Either
You looking
a
through?
guest room or a servant's room.
What do you know? All the drawers are empty. Some of them obscured some of the other ones, so like you couldn't be sure.
Wait, I said the nightstand.
Be sure. In the nightstand.
Okay.
What about you?
About iron,
I got
but
21
My very
on
first
mine.
D&D
Sure,
character
sure.
made a bunch of money
Alright.
by
Oh,
like in our travels. He had a bunch
Ground.
of surveying stuff on him, and he kept finding like ore veins.
The
and
carpet.
Take it back to town and sell them. Not like the ore, but like
It's
the
nice.
location.
Uh-huh.
And sell them to
Pretty
miners.
well kept. I mean, the rest of the house is pretty well kept, apart from up here where everything's kind of dirty, but it's still nice enough.
No active veins would definitely be profitable.
The walls look alright. No harm done, no foul. You
No
spot
more.
like another spider, like scrabbling like in one of the corners of the ceiling, but like you're close enough to the roof that you can see that like it just stops in a web and keeps to itself. What about you?
Eat it.
I got a 12 on general look around. Or just general
Little
searching.
bird.
You also look around.
Big birds don't eat spiders.
You see people rustling around.
Sentient bird.
Room looks pretty standard. I mean, you do notice that the bed seems particularly neatly made.
Okay, so the previous rooms were all like dusty and stuff. This one seems pretty well taken care of.
This one is also dusty, but the
Okay.
things here don't show any signs of wear like the previous.
How big is the bed?
Huh.
Like the room is small, but is the bed like? Is this a child's bed?
A
Or
little
just a
bigger than a
single?
child's bed.
It's like a single?
It's definitely like slim, single, probably meant for one person, but it's like roughly adult sized.
Is it bolted to the floor or is it like loose?
You check, it's not bolted to the floor.
Pick it up. Is there's anything underneath it?
I already checked the bed. I mean, I assume I'd be checking underneath it. Under the pillows and shit.
Can never be too safe.
Oh yeah.
Pick it
it's
up,
the entire
you don't
frame.
find anything.
Okay, well.
This room appears to contain nothing of excitement.
Oh, whatever. Let's go on to the next room.
None of the floors up here have had any of that weird decor that the downstairs have had, right? Like the skulls on the floor paneling, the snakes in the walls.
Well, none that any of you have noticed.
I got 22 on.
But given their hidden nature, perhaps the sinister detailing still surrounds you.
22.
Checking the door, got a 22. You're looking at that door. It's an okay door. Not gonna lie. I mean, there's a certain craftsmanship that repeats itself throughout the house, and this place is no exception. However, this one, unlike the others, is locked.
Okay.
The same style of padlock that you found on the
I'm gonna step back
on
into
the
other
attic
room
door
real quick and
Oh,
scan it
that
with,
you hit while coming up here.
And try to use
Fun
this
note.
same key that we
It's
have.
already picking the lock.
Mm-hmm.
Can I step back into the other room and scan it with my detect magic real quick? Because I forgot to do that.
This what you mean?
Just, you don't have to move me. I'm just gonna squeeze back real.
We got pieces of my magic. You move them. He said justifyingly. You pop back real quick as the lock's being tampered with, and it crosses your mind. You could probably use that key, but like he's already doing it. You quickly detect magic. You don't find anything. You got
18.
You got 18 in your attempt to pick the lock. And it sticks for a moment, but just give it a bit and then it pops open. How you know that? Perhaps part of your backstory. But in the meantime, the lock pops off and reveals a room. This particular room, populated with some beds, some furniture, but in the center, most curious of all, what appears to be like a small toy house.
Does the house look like the house we're in?
There's just like
Or is it a generic house?
It might, but like all good fiction, you will need to get closer to find out.
Do you want us to roll?
same.
I mean, you have to enter the room.
Same
Well,
formation.
Yeah.
I will scan the room with my detect magic. Sakar will look in the house, see if there's anything in there.
Along with your companion.
Look around.
Alright.
Sakar got a 22. I'm checking out the dollhouse.
Dragon Pond.
Alright.
I got 17.
Cool.
13.
Alright. First and foremost, the toy house. Getting closer and inspecting it, you notice and connect immediately that this is like a toy model of the house that you're in. But what proves more interesting is that as you inspect it, or rather as you and Sakaro inspect it, you find that on this little house there are little like flaps and hinges that note what appear to be secret doorways here and there throughout the place.
Are any of them in rooms that we've been through already?
One or two. There's even one on this floor, at least if the dollhouse is to be believed.
What room was it?
I am going to pull out some parchment. I am going to pull out my ink and ink pen, and I am going to take over Sakar's senses, and I will say to the rest, I am going to take a detailed map of the house using the toy house. In the meantime, we should rest. So basically, let's take a short rest. During that short rest, I'm going to be using my parchment and my ink to create an exact map of the house using the
Dollhouse.
using Sakar. She's just going to climb around through and give me as detailed of a map as possible, as I'm going to be using her eyes. I don't know why I'm really excited about this. I think it's really cool. Yeah, she's going to climb along the dollhouse, and I'm going to use that to create detailed maps of every room and all of the like the secret passages and stuff. So basically, we have a map of the rest of the house. And during that time, people will take a short rest. It's probably going to take like an hour anyway.
I wanted to make sure, because that's what it sounded like you were doing.
I don't know why I'm really excited about this. I think this is really fun.
That's neat.
Because she's Jotaro and you're Star Platinum.
Other way around.
No, you're drawing.
Looking around the room also reveals yet more remains. It is Crack who stumbles upon them. 2 skeletons, small, little piles of bones huddled together, almost intertwined.
Their children.
I wonder if it
Yeah,
The pile is small.
I was gonna say, I wonder if they're the...
is one little Can I? So before we take the rest and I start doing the mapping, can I make a medicine check to look at the bones? I'm guessing one of them is smaller and male, and the other one is taller and female.
They may be. Looking around the room, you notice, and after you get on the kick one of the bone piles, you also
He said you stumbled
accidentally
upon
you're
it.
walking
Okay.
and you're like, oh,
Bones!
you notice, and as you are generally looking around, it is noticeable that there are little decals and wall decorations of windmills, and there's a distant chest that's open, and you can see some odd toys sticking out of it, which may or may not make what you have found make a little more sense.
What is a toy?
Literally like a child's playroom.
You said odd toys and stuff?
Odd toys is in there sticking out in different directions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
You can make judgments of the toys if you examine them, but that's what I meant. Stopping what you are looking at.
yeah,
to
just real quick.
inspect
I rolled
the
a
bones.
14 on medicine.
You kneel down and consult your own medical knowledge. And it's pretty easy to tell. These are definitely children's bones. Though as you're inspecting them, you receive confirmation as 2 figures appear
Fucking with
in the
bodies.
middle
and
of the room.
spirits. Go figure.
These 2 figures.
Let me guess, are they right next to me? On either side, flanking? Die!
They are not. They are both behind you. And
How would I know?
bear a striking resemblance. It gets cold
I know,
behind
I'm
you.
joking.
Bear a striking resemblance to the children that you encountered before entering this place.
Go figure.
The little boy begins softly weeping into the little girl's side as the little girl looks upon the scene of the bones being inspected with a look of intelligence and maybe even mild surprise mixed with sadness.
Do we all see them?
Huh.
Yes.
Well,
I'll say you might have told us you were dead before you sent us in here.
those were images.
I know.
The little girl looks up. I don't know what you're talking about.
It wasn't for you to actually understand, I guess.
I will turn to them and say, "It is okay, child. We will take you from this place. Lay you to rest."
No, we can't leave.
Why?
The monster in the basement.
We have come to slay the monster, and then you will be free. I promise.
You're going to kill the monster?
Yes.
Little boy takes a peek from his sister's side. You won't leave us.
Has someone left you? Was it your mother?
They put us up here, our mother and father, to protect us from the monster.
Yes.
It was very lonely. We got so hungry.
That is a
She
very
looks down.
terrible way to die.
We'll say your mother was up here too. The woman in the dress?
Was she? Where's she now?
I will say she is gone.
But waiting for you.
Oh.
We are
Little boy,
taking-
retakes his place like Bear then.
I will say she says we will take her from this place. We will take you to meet her. Once the monster is dead. Child, do you know what the monster is? What it looks like?
No.
What does it sound like?
The little boy from a muffled position remarks, "It sounds scary."
What kind of noise does it make? Do you remember?
It's been so long, and it always was so far away when we heard it.
In the basement. Does it not like the light?
We don't know.
What?
We were just told we'd be safe if we stayed up here.
Does it sound like an animal or a person?
I do not think I remember. Do I
mean, there's kind of a
know
big
of
difference between
any?
a howl and a scream.
Yeah, but I honestly simply don't remember.
It's a good idea, though I will offer that if they're calling it a monster, they probably heard something that sounded more bestial over.
Right. Can I roll? Do I know of any? Can I roll investigation to try to figure out? Okay, sorry. So I have a couple questions. One, have I ever dealt with operations before in my hunting? Like, is this the first time I've ever spoken to a ghost?
Have you ever spoken to a ghost before?
Yeah. I'm only asking because my background's monster. Well, it's haunted one, but part of that is
You
monster.
have. You have encountered spirits before.
Okay, then do I know of any? Did my master teach me any sort of technique for getting information out of one? Basically, do I know any techniques for bringing up like repressed memories? Not to sound like Fox Mulder for a second, but do I know some sort of like maybe some thing I can? Do I know maybe if I show them like something from their past life, it will trigger memories, or if I take them somewhere?
Without turning them hostile.
Well, yeah, obviously. I would hopefully not turn them hostile. I'm basically asking if I know of any way to help them remember their memories. There's actually a spell. I do not have it, and I'm not high enough level to cast it. But there's a spell later on I can get where I could totally make them remember vividly certain parts of their memories. How useful would that be?
It would be.
Yeah.
As for right now, as far as you know, the only real thing that you can do when interacting with ghosts and spirits like this is to just be as nice and understanding as you can be. If they don't remember something, there's basically no way outside of magic that you can
Used to
get it.
make them remember.
And
Okay.
oftentimes, people who die may just be missing things in their memory in general.
I'll ask
Because they
them.
themselves
They may not know something themselves, even.
I'll say, is there anything interesting about the house, or anything we should be aware of about the house?
Oh, you're asking the kids?
Yeah, the kids.
The little boy peeks his head out and says, "The monster in the basement."
Was it always here?
They look. The little boy goes, I don't know. The older girl says, I don't think so.
So it came here. Do you remember the day it came?
I remember the day that we were led up here, told to hide.
Yes, yes. Your father told you to hide. You and your mother?
It was just our mother.
What happened to
But
you?
father told her to, she said.
Did you hear your father tell your mother anything? Perhaps through the wall?
No. I know that they had been fighting about something, I think.
Do you remember what they said? What they were fighting about? Do you remember any names?
No. It's been too long.
Right.
So long.
The monster could have also been here the entire time, but could have just been dormant.
Or the father of the monster. I'm not gonna say that out loud.
Probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah, you probably
I'm
shouldn't
not
say
saying
that.
it out loud. I'm saying it out of character.
Well,
And there was that book on demon summoning.
Well, a bunch.
Okay.
You found a whole room chock full of that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
In addition to that
was-
letter
That's why I was kind of
where
looking for
Strahd derided
banishing.
Okay.
the
With
master of
that-
the house. So something's going on here for sure.
Were there any rooms your father told you not to go in before the monster showed up? Like, did he ever tell you don't go into this room? It's my private study or anything like that?
I'm guessing the basement.
She shakes her head. No.
Your father, the library is his, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. And do you remember your father, was there a particular book he was fond of in his library? One he would read more than the others? You know, like your favorite storybook. Surely your father has a book he had the preference for, yes?
That's a pretty good question.
I don't know. There were a lot of books. The little boy volunteers. He liked spooky things,
Yes, yes. What sort of spooky things?
like. And he turns a little back inwards again and goes low. Monsters.
Yeah, monsters. What kind of monsters? And I'll point like downwards. Do you mean like basement monsters? Or do you mean like, and then I'll like point down?
The boy turns, like, retreating fully and gives a muffled, I don't know.
It's fine, man. It's fine.
His sister, like, embraces his head a little more closely.
Okay.
You might have gotten all that we can so far.
Okay, do you remember anything about the house changing on the day you brought them here? Maybe the temperature?
She shakes her head.
It wasn't
No.
unnaturally cold or warm?
I don't remember.
And you never left the room after your mother ushered you in here.
No. It wasn't safe.
Okay.
So they've been stuck in this room ever since everything went down, so they didn't see or hear anything.
There was a padlock on the outside of the door. Like
Mother
something
probably locked
them
Yes.
in.
A padlock. Well, yes.
The mom probably locked them in. So
Okay.
the mom-
And there was a
So-
padlock on the door to the basement.
Also,
or
the
to the
creature is
attic proper. as well.
probably what? Wait, then how did she die? Because she had slashes all over her.
She was wrapped,
Unless
and her
the-
body was wrapped in like a cape thing that was encrusted with blood.
Yeah, but how would the padlock get back on? Does the stove go down to an earlier floor?
The father might have
Is
locked the
there
wife
any
up
way
there.
in the is there any? So
Huh.
you said there was a secret entrance up to this floor that Sakar saw in the house, right?
Grayla and Sakar spotted a few, if the thing is to be believed, hidden passages, one of which being on this floor downwards.
Okay. Crack. Go check that secret entrance. See if there's any sort of marks on it. If the creature got up and I'll like point towards the other room, but could not get in here, that is information we could use. Be careful.
Was there anybody else in the house besides you and your parents? Anybody else that lived here or stayed here for a time?
I'll go with Crack, by the way, when he goes to check the door. Also, cast guidance on him.
Asks about what again?
Was there anybody else that lived here besides you and your parents, or anybody else that stayed here for a stranger that stayed here for a long time?
The young girl is about to answer, but then her head snaps to Crack and Grayla, who I pointed in an opposite fashion, and asks, "Where are you going?"
We're going to check a door, but we'll be right back.
No, you can't leave. It's dangerous.
It is fine, we are here to take care of the monster.
But you can't. You can't leave. Don't leave.
Do I know that these specters? Can I roll with my religion check earlier on the specters? Do I know that they'll like freak out and attack if we try to leave? Like if we upset them too much?
It's not a specific rule that you are aware of.
Is there
Well,
anything?
not even that you're aware of. It's not a specific rule.
Anything that may be used to calm a specter that's getting agitated?
This is a spell called Calm Emotion.
Well, I mean, you know.
I don't know, maybe
I
like
was playing Kendra like it's
pulling out like their favorite toy or like mimicking playing with them might calm them down enough.
Well, you could give it a shot in general.
maybe a persuasion check. See, I can't. I'm completely useless for
I'm not good with persuasion.
literally any social
I
check.
can scare them real good.
What?
I can intimidate them.
Don't do that. I'll roll persuasion then, if that's alright, and say, it will be fine, we'll be right back. When we come back, everything will be fine.
Okay.
And it's just you two leaving, we're staying.
Yeah, you won't be alone, they'll stay with you.
Yes.
21.
Girl seems to relax, but it's dangerous.
We'll be careful.
Yeah, just check out the entrance to it. Don't go down there.
Of course I'm not gonna go in there.
They let us go though, they don't freak out or anything.
Well, she is contemplating to herself, seemingly. As you move across the threshold, the little boy quickly, snaps around. It's like, what? And looks and says, what? No! You can't! They are going to leave! I won't let you! And runs towards you.
Are you serious?
But it's not attacking.
Okay. What is it doing then?
It runs up, and then the little boy grabs at your waist. And then begins to warp and twist.
Into what?
Now something is happening.
Are you
I
fucking
would like you to make me a charisma save.
Are you
What?
fucking
Is he trying to
serious?
possess him to make him not leave?
23. Charisma.
You feel this entity attempt to invade your being, to rebuff it, and rebuff it quite stiffly. Its
Yeah, fuck
feeble
you, little
attempts
kid.
to latch onto you are turned away, much like a frightened child gripping at an adult's lapels.
Can I leave now?
You can try.
If you guys double move, I can
Because
try and stay in the way?
How physical are these
Yeah, I mean, like, physically hold them back? Or...
They're about as physical as spirits normally are. The specter you encountered earlier, you could interact with for sure.
Yeah.
These would be about the same deal,
Mm.
more or less, depending on their strength.
Does he know if specters can go through walls? Or are they bound by what we're bound by?
But there's
You know it's
specters.
possible for ghosts to go through
Right.
walls.
Do I know of a way to dispel them peacefully?
Under normal circumstances, yet, but a knowledge check would be helpful here, given that you have some new information that may or may not change what needs to be done.
Turn of
11. Unless all this new information would give me advantage.
Well, you know what? You're learning, you're asking questions. I think so.
21.
That is way better.
So, you're pretty sure, and you've even thought about this before, which is why you've been collecting remains thus far. You're pretty sure, given that these children have a strong enough tie to the house, that the house is using their image with their history, you don't need to be a detective to put together that the circumstances of their death must have been quite something, quite powerful. You're sure that, like any normal ghost, you can get them to temporarily disperse by killing them. But laying them to rest, particularly in their proper place, a grave of some kind, is likely the only way to deal with them permanently.
What if the bones were to leave the house?
You can check them out the window.
Thinking about it.
What the hell, man?
No, I can go bury them. I'm unaffected by the mist.
Why
Are
are
you
you going
gonna
to
see
be
it?
that mist on your own?
Well,
Because nobody else can go in the mist.
I mean, if I don't go that far, and my unseen servant leads me there, helps me dig, and then leads me back. I mean, I can't take Sakar because he'll die in the mist, but the unseen servant isn't affected.
Well, the mist hemmed us in to the yard, but it didn't actually make us go in the house. So if we go back down,
It's on the patio area.
is the mist on the patio area?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Oh, never mind. then.
That's where it stops.
Is there an area like out back, like when we were closing in? Was there like sometimes mansions will have graveyards out back? Did I see one?
No. This is a nice house. It's a little shy of a mansion as far as
Okay.
space
Well,
goes.
is there a place within like 5 minutes of the house that Sakar saw on the way here that I could go to bury these bones?
Unfortunately, no.
No. Okay.
However, do you want to make me... I want to call it an insight check, so I'm going to.
Can anyone make it, or you just want him to make
I'll
it?
add shit on this.
Add a bit to it.
I'm just going to keep
15.
it with Sasha for right now.
I got a 15 on insight.
You already knew that there's no suitable grave place close because it's in town, it's kind of close to the roads, it's all
Right.
like paved over. But while thinking about how mansions normally have a grave place of some kind, rich people usually have tombs or plots or something like that, the fact that this one didn't on the way in, and the fact that there is a basement, makes you think that maybe they do, just lower.
Oh.
Right. So what are we doing with these ghost kids? Are we beating them?
I know we beat back the spirit of the mother, and I'm guessing the bones that were crushed under the chest was probably the father. We just didn't fuck with those bones.
Well, yeah, he did.
We did. We took a letter from
We
it.
took the letter.
There was
And
a
its
letter in
hand
his
fell
hand,
off.
and it was taken.
But I mean, we didn't like. Did you inspect the bones or the
Yeah.
body of it?
Yeah, I did. That's how I figured out it was killed by a poison needle trap.
It's true. Disturbing bodies proves to be dangerous in Barovia, but not all the time.
Okay. Because
It's a risk. An extra risk.
I wonder if we might be able to. God. I'm wondering if we might be able to distract him if we have like the body or the bones of their parents and like get them together.
The
Might
mom's
calm them down.
body already is in the room. You fucking took her with you.
Yeah, but she's in the pack.
That doesn't magically separate her. It's a piece of leather.
Can a spirit like this willingly dismiss itself back to its state before it's interacted with? Do I know that from my intelligence check?
You don't, but it does cross your mind if they could move on, they probably would have.
No, I know they're moving on. I mean, like how they weren't here until we interacted with the bones. Can they go back into that not being here state?
Does that the thing go back to
That
sleep?
sleeping state. Is there like a music box?
Educated guess, you don't think so.
Okay.
Is there a music box?
Then I will say to them, okay, well, we must gather ourselves before we go down and find, defeat the monster and bring you to your mother and father. We have to leave the room to find your father. We need both of you to be brave if you want to be back with them. Do you understand?
Zalwyn gives Sasha a searching look.
Do you want me to roll persuasion?
You know what? Sure. By sure, I mean yes. I shouldn't make it like, oh, do I? The answer is yes.
Or no, sorry, 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at persuading people, but
Man, you gotta have a weakness somewhere.
Anyone can use
I have
persuasion.
a 7 in strength now. I definitely have a weakness there.
You gotta have 2 weaknesses somewhere.
He doesn't have a weakness in charisma. He just doesn't have a bonus.
Compared to 90% of characters I play, that is a glaring weakness.
She stops, looks down, and looks back up. No. You can't leave us.
Okay, one final question just before, because it looks like we might have to. Would you equate a parent telling their child what to do, like sit down, get back in your room, you stay there, don't move, and stuff like that, as persuasion or intimidation?
As intimidation.
Okay. Then we might be able. I could give that a shot if you guys want. I mean, they're already
If you want to do it, do it.
kind of hostile.
Now, on the flip side, you could, since it doesn't require leaving this room, take the short rest, was it?
Before actually trying to leave.
First, and then try.
Maybe then we can finish.
But it was a short rest, right?
Yeah.
You can face the problem now, or you can face the problem after the short rest. Depending on how likely you think it is to become violent, then maybe.
Do you want to take the short rest now or not?
It's up to you.
Because I don't get anything back on the short rest. It's just you.
Up to you isn't a vote.
You three are just free to get stuff back on a short rest.
Do you spend any key points during?
He has
the
none.
I have none.
But I suppose, in theory, if you took the short rest, you could do that thing with with the dollhouse.
Yeah, but
If you're worried about
then I'll
not
use
using
my
it.
temporary hit points.
Yeah, well, that's also true.
That's what I'm considering. Just attacking them now.
Attack children.
The one that's
Dead
clinging to
children.
me
They're
isn't doing
ghosts.
anything else, right?
I have
He
no
just
sympathy for that.
clinged on to me, and now that I've rebuffed him, he's just there.
Yes.
Okay. Is he still hanging on?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't even think rock.
Alright, I can. Okay. Since we're kind of at a standstill, nobody else has any ideas. I will try to do that then. I will try to take the child, separate him from Grayla, back to his sister, and enough. We are here to help you. Your parents brought you up here to keep you safe and wait for somebody else to deal with the monsters. We cannot help you if you do not allow us to leave. For us to do that, you will have to sit here quietly and wait. And we will be back. Can I roll intimidation?
Okay.
And try and sit them down, put them in their place?
Jesus Christ.
3.
From a certain point of view, it almost works a little too well.
Oh.
They're immediately a shiver. One of them starts crying, the other quivering as the sister shouts, "No! You can't leave! It's dangerous!" And they both aggress.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
But
it's
first,
still
I
banishing
was gonna-
temporary.
a break. And now, we continue. As the evils of Barovia make child murderers of us all.
You can't murder
First
what's
off-
already dead.
They're already dead. Second off, Jesus, man.
It's like you can't kidnap orphans. Nobody wanted them in the first place.
This
I'm an
don't
orphan
really
and I can
care.
say that.
What the hell?
Yeah, he is actually, but and the first time I met him, I'd implied I'd fuck his mother, and then after he corrected me and told me she was dead, I doubled down because I'm a nice person. Literally, first day I ever met him.
It's still funny.
So,
It
child
was.
abuse is something that you're not new to, is what you're saying.
Yes, definitely not me too. David, the only thing worse than a murderer? A child.
Boom.
Okay, so
Well, I will need initiatives from you all.
okay. And can I see their initiatives?
One of them rolled an 18, and another one of them rolled a 9.
Okay, change that 18 to a 6.
I got
I will change that 18 to a 6.
A 6 plus their dex or whatever, and that is my other portent. Or, yeah, you know what? Actually, fuck it. I want them going. I got a 19.
Alright, what about you?
I got a 5.
You got a 5.
22.
You got a 22.
12.
You got a 12. Okay.
Well,
No, that's fine. Your portent would have made it go better by 1, and they had 18. You made the right choice.
Then I believe that means that Crack goes first.
Get that little pucker up her leg.
Oh, talk to Chief.
Very well.
But can I move past it to her?
I believe so.
Right.
Where'd you point again? Did you point to here?
Yeah. That should give me advantage, right?
I will note you have enough movement to get here. You which means you'll actually be granted flanking to both of them.
Damn.
And you'll have flanking no matter who you hit.
If that's cool, dude. We change that.
I suppose.
Alright, thank you. This is
Now remember, some players
No,
are good at numbers.
just don't.
Some are
You're only aggroing him by saying anything.
In fact, you said just about the worst thing you could in response to what I believe.
You should have
However,
just said
I am a
nothing.
thespian, ignoring the part we're doing right now, and as such, we'll wait until later
That's a
to
15 hit.
trash you with personal attacks.
That's a 15 hit to the pink one.
The pink one,
Yeah.
which predictably is the little girl, is hit. That is a success.
That's 11 damage.
Alright.
Oh wait,
Well, not to push up my glasses and be like technically, but technically, back in like medieval or back, it actually used to be the other way around. Blue was the girl color and pink was the boy color.
Yeah.
So since D&D takes place in the olden days, wouldn't the pink one be the boy? Like, if it was being predictable.
I'm thinking about our audience
We're
and us
filming
right
in
now.
modern day though.
If I were running a game in D&D and was telling Sasha predictably, Sasha could go actually right now times. But here at this table, it is predictable.
that's a 22 hit.
It most certainly does.
8 damage.
Very well. You slash and strike. Again, you feel resistance.
I want that pink one.
As you rip through the small child's form, your effects could be greater.
But I assume I'm 28 or something.
Probably guess it's the same thing that was affecting Spectre.
You took your attack because you want the pink one more.
I can respect that motivation.
To be fair, it is better than orange.
It's a metagaming motivation though.
I do believe it is now Sasha's turn.
Okay, well, they're right next to me again. Again.
This is a tiny room, Mario.
I will.
And you were talking to him. Unless you were in the corner, like facing the wall, not knowing what direction they're in, talking to him.
Sounds like a fun element of like a show.
Because I'm worried about Grayla getting possessed, I'm going to use my action to cast Catapult, launching from my belt on a flask of holy water, and I will launch it from my belt into the small child's ghost-like face. He has to make a dexterity saving throw against 15. If he fails, he will take... If he fails, he takes 14, but since that's bludgeoning damage, that'll be half to 7, and then he takes an additional 7 divine, so that's not reduced.
Is the catapult not considered magic?
It is, but it does normal bludgeoning damage.
Believe it or not, he fails his save.
Sweet.
And is flung, damage is dealt. His flesh is, well, his ghost flesh is seared with divine light.
The plasma?
So yeah, I did 14 overall.
Which now makes it your turn. Because you got 12, right?
Yes.
And then they both go before me.
Well, hopefully we'll kill one.
Well,
I should do.
Also, I need more holy water.
That's what we should do.
kill the
I'll see. Depends on
Well,
which show we end up getting.
It's a
there's
small component of mine too.
yeah, there's nothing for it. I can
Then I
only
need
attack
it
when I can
To
reach.
throw at people's faces.
Yeah, man, sure.
I know, but it's because it's be potentially a repeat.
Yeah.
So 17.
That is a hit.
Okay. 14 damage.
You strike into the little girl with great ferocity. Though once again you are met with ghostly resistance. You got 6, right?
No, I got 5. They got 6. The one that got 18 got a 6.
Well,
I got a 5.
Plus their dex.
Yeah, they got a 6 plus their dex. I just got a 5.
Well, one got a 6 plus their dex. The other one got whatever the other one rolled. I think a 9. So they probably get now.
The little boy now goes.
Remember how much you want to attack Rayla and forget that I just hit you in the bottle of water.
It looks Grayla in the eyes. You can't leave! It's dangerous! The monster!
Oh my god.
Bluff. Tell them we're not leaving.
I
Not worked.
would like another charisma save. Buffering real quick.
14.
Again, it twists and writhes against your own spiritual willpower, but again, it is rebuffed.
Thank god I have proficiency in charisma save. And a bonus save.
The little girl looks at Theodore
Y'all just beating her up, and she was a reasonable one.
Yeah, well.
and attempts to latch onto him
Let me see.
herself. I would like a save from you now.
No, I don't have a proficiency. 18.
In a sense, that's what happens. Her weak ghost will is no match for yours. Now it is Grace's
Only needs to make more stuff.
I'm gonna turn undead, so they gotta make a wisdom saving throw against 14, right? Is whatever my spell save DC is.
I think so.
It's both of them within 30 feet, and if they fail, they have to move as far away as they physically can from me. They can't attack, and they have to they can only take the dash and the dodge action, and they can only take the dodge action if they can't move away from me.
Huh.
Okay.
Well,
That's a 7 and an 11.
Because
Assuming you wish to change either of them. If not, then whatever.
What do you mean change?
Well, I'm talking to Sasha.
Oh,
no, I'm out of points.
I
I've used both of mine.
wasn't keeping track.
Yeah, I get 2.
they did 14 anyway, so both of those are below, so now they gotta run
When it's their turn.
when it's their turn.
They both behold your divine might and cower even more so. Frightened and afraid, it now becomes Christ.
Run from the church, children.
It also can't take reactions, so
Just yeah.
Huh. Jeez.
So I can move away from these fools.
Nah, dude, here. Just follow this hand dance. Go to town.
I'll find the dagger.
Leave.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 13.
That is it.
9 damage.
Alright.
Oh, 11. 11.
That is.
6 damage.
Alright. Well, the last shot is a little wobbly. You manage to slash, pound further into the little girl ghost. Form is weakening. Portions of it disintegrating. She's still very much in the game, if not alive.
Oh, great. That's one stealing.
So your turn.
Well, see, I was thinking if you stayed there when they tried. No, you have to run!
So
They have to run anyway.
they have to run anyway. I don't want to get hit. I don't. Whatever the fuck you guys are doing. I will have Scar mark the girl for me, and I will conjure the mystic flame as I encant Incertus Polcar Imperio, and I will firebolt the girl since I can see her. I'm not doing it.
Very well.
Well, I have a line of effect. Does a 21 or 24 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Then I deal 8 damage, but it is fire damage, so it's halved. So 4 damage.
The hallway and the room within are bathed briefly in an orange glow as flame for a moment envelops the spectral figure, harming it significantly. It is now very badly damaged. Fading on its way out. Not quite yet, though.
All of you are the big one.
Now, we have
That's gonna
Sigurd.
get it. That's gonna get it.
It's fine. I was gonna give it to you anyway. I just wanted to see your reaction when I stole it.
Gotta keep chopping children.
Really?
That's unfortunate.
23.
That is it.
Nine damage. And just regular slashing.
You slash with great strength. For now, quieting the tragedy-torn creature.
I don't know what to tell you, man. After making that successful attack, would I be able to make a 5-foot step to try using hammering? No, hammering horns can only be used immediately after.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, I would answer, but you already know. Little boy.
Plus 8.
Now, how could I forget? That's true. He must. And he does so. He staggers back, scrabbles and scrapes over the wooden floor. It's partially carpeted. And then pushes himself against this corner of the room.
For 2
2
attacks.
attacks opportunity. Probably should have put up your shillelagh before you turned undone.
It's concentration for me, but yeah. Oh, it's a bonus action if David doesn't have a problem with
Well, if it's a bonus action, you can have a bonus action.
No, he doesn't have one. He's asking if you can retroactively before.
it. I can also cast it next turn before I hit him.
Well, I'm saying for the attack opportunity. Because otherwise you wouldn't have it right now.
That's true. I'll just attack him with my club.
Yeah, might as well.
Let me see what
Well, when he moves... No, wait. Can you get advantage on attacks of opportunity?
I'm
Yeah,
not
you
sure.
totally can have advantage on attacks opportunity.
Yeah, 22.
If they're flanked when they start to move,
That's
you
a hit.
still have that.
That's 6 damage.
So,
And I still give my 2 attacks, or should it just
No, it's just
Just
a
one.
good attack.
Just one sure.
In his frightful retreat, he leaves some of himself behind. Claws. Or your blade, depending on which.
My blade is.
Did your second roll?
Yeah, my second roll was a Hold on. My second roll was a 12 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay. Then I do 8 damage to him.
I heard A damage.
Yeah, 1 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I heard
As
A
well as
or
a bit of
H.
damage.
I was like, what are the two?
No.
Now, does this effect like continue to last, or do they make saves over the course of their turns?
It's for a minute.
Okay. So saves, they just retreat for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as, I mean, I'll double check it, but I'm pretty sure it's just.
Well, maybe a little later, because it is Grayla's turn now.
I'll come up to it and attack it. I'll cast Shillelagh. So you move me up to it, and I'll have Shillelagh cast.
Very well.
16 to hit,
That is it.
and 12 for damage. Magical.
Pretty nice. You strike a very stiff blow against the young boy, who writhes in pain under the sting of your shillelagh. It is now Crack's turn.
I would like to note that a creature stops being turned as soon as it takes any damage.
Does it?
Which I thought might be the case. I think in 3.5 they got a new save
no.
when they took damage, but in
For
5th
1 minute
edition...
or until it takes any damage.
You didn't believe me?
No, I believe it.
I told him not to look at him
I
as
was
his
already-
turn, and he could look at him after.
Yeah, but I could also why we're doing that because we're a team. Edge of his back. I did it to help. Stop living.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Regardless.
You're right, David. There's a secret cabal that hands out points whenever you're right, and you need to be right before your friends are right.
I knew it!
And I'm winning!
I'm disappointed, but not surprised.
Isn't there a race from a game that's called a cabal?
You said 13
No,
hits.
cabal's just a
It does.
Alright.
Or a person from MK?
12 damage.
Yeah, but his name's clearly a reference to a cabal of sorcerers.
Which is weird because he doesn't use magic.
You assault with blade,
It doesn't.
inflicting damage.
That's where you commonly hear it. It doesn't have to be related to magic.
I can reach you with unarmed still, right? That doesn't stop me.
Yes, you're within 5 feet of it.
Does what not stop you from what?
He's saying because he's asking if it was within reach of his unarmed attack, but it is.
Alright.
Yeah, you're
15.
within range.
I get 5 damage.
Alright. And 5 more damage on top of that. This proves to be the final blow, as he is harmed beyond repair. He disperses with a mournful wail and is no more.
Good.
I'm saying character sorry. And I actually mean sorry.
So I guess either the main or one of the main characters in the new there's a new IDW publishing D&D comic, and either the main character, one of the main characters is a Kenku.
Huh.
Yeah, I follow the artist, she's not the artist or the writer. I think she's the artist though, on Twitter, and she was posting like parts of the comic.
Cool.
Yeah, he's on like the cover. He's one of the. I think he might be the bad guy. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know.
That sounds potentially interesting. For the record, you know because you were looking at the dollhouse originally, and once you have studied it, you will also know that one of these secret entrances is here, particularly to the basement.
Okay.
Oh.
There's another one like back in the house to something else,
So
and one that you found already to
the
a
first thing I
secret
want to do
library.
is to look. Well, first let's take that short rest, and then I'm gonna make that map. And then the second thing I want to do is I will say in character, once we're done resting, I would like to double back to the library, and with the information we've gathered from the child, I would like to attempt to discern exactly what it is we will be facing in the basement. I have suspicions, but if it was summoned with the aid of some of these demon summoning books, I might be able to find out its exact nature and come up with a plan that we can use to defeat it with minimal casualty.
Are you sure it's not within the book that we currently have?
It might be, but he said there were many books in the library, and there might be more that we did not find. Basically, out of character, I'd like to go back to the library, and we should also check out, now that we have the map, we should check out extra rooms too for any, loot and other stuff. But at the library, I want to roll investigation. Now, one of the specific uses of investigation is to use books and stuff to basically figure out information. And I'm hoping with the questions I asked the kid about, what kind of noises did it make and other stuff, I want to try to narrow it down, possibly getting advantage on my investigation check to figure out what kind of demon it is. Additionally, I will note that asking him all those questions was playing to my ideal, and that my character's ideal is that I need to know everything about my enemy before I commit to attacking them, which is why I was trying to pump him for exactly what is it down there. So if I could possibly get inspiration on that, I can get advantage on the investigation check out that way. Either way, I would like to put as much resources into figuring out what we're fighting as possible before we go into that basement.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Because Sasha is no fool and will not rush in. But short rest first. And during that time is when I'll be making the map and stuff.
Doing your best. As other people take a short breather.
Which I'm not down any hit points, otherwise I'd spend
I might as well.
hit dice, but yeah, if you guys are, you definitely should.
It's a D12?
For you it's a D12. For us, it's whatever our hit dice is, which is, I think for everybody
Can I
except
get
for
the plus
Margaret.
effect?
Pardon me.
My hit dice is a d6.
Yeah.
But I'm at full. I have not been struck yet.
Never mind.
Huh?
Never mind.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like, are you just gonna leave me fucking hanging here?
I didn't see it.
Line out, motherfucker. Oh boy.
You and David both. David on Sunday totally left me fucking hanging.
Oh wait, it's your hit dice plus your con modifier?
Yeah, plus your con
Oh,
modifier.
yeah, cool.
So this breather
That might be the case.
restores all of you?
I gained 7. I'm still down 6, but
I made it to full, but
I regain one of my spell slots. So the one I used on
Key points.
yeah, he gets his key points back and he gets his rages back.
I like him
Completely? I was curious.
No, we're still down some stuff. I'm still down 1 spell slot. He is still down 6 hit points. Has Grayla used any spell slots
yeah,
here?
he's one, so I'm still got
Okay.
a spell slot.
So she's still down 1.
Okay.
So
Nice.
we have not quite fully restored.
Now, while your companion had asked about backtracking, I don't remember any of you in character saying one way or the other.
I don't have a problem with it. Or Grayla has no problem with it.
no. If there's a no, not really. I know this leads to the basement, but does it also peer out to the floor below, closer to the room?
No.
Okay.
It goes directly from here to the basement. There's
This might
also
be a good entrance to the basement once we figure out exactly what it is, because
Okay.
it'll probably come out
We should probably put the padlock on that door,
just in case, so we can't get.
so it can't just sneak its way up and
Um,
ambush us.
it doesn't have a conventional door.
What did the third floor
Right, it's like a hidden door.
in the dollhouse look like?
It'd be a good idea though.
How does it open, David? Does it swing out, or does it slide?
It slides.
Is there a way that Crack can use his thieves' tools to jam something in the slider, not to stop it, but so that if it opens, something will make a noise, maybe put in a metal thing, sort of go shing or something?
Or
Yeah.
grind
Or
heavily.
grind heavy.
Pretty easily, yeah.
Good. Crab, if you could trap the door so that we know if someone was using it to get behind us.
What did the third floor in the dollhouse look like? I'm not asking your job, Matt. I mean, in the dollhouse, did it look like bedrooms or studies or what?
There were a few bedrooms on there. You guys have gone through the third floor, though you didn't
Sliding.
explore all of it.
Yeah,
So it
we're
looks,
gonna explore the
what
rest of
you
the third floor on the way back to
Well,
the
I-
library.
I just meant like you passed through it.
Oh.
We're checking
And what you saw
Right
the
here.
third floor matches up with what's in the dollhouse.
He wants to know
What'd
what
you say?
check he'd make.
We're checking and making, not sleight of hand, right? It's someone else.
I'm just gonna call it a dex check.
Dex check. Okay.
So
Yeah,
you got three.
yeah. 15.
Or no, you got 4. 3.
For the record, the only other hidden rooms that you find with the aid of looking at the dollhouse are this that you already
No,
drawn,
no.
you're already dealing with. There's the secret part of the library, which you guys found.
Yeah.
And there's also like a secret door that you guys found on, I believe, the second floor that was like an extra entrance to one of the rooms that you looked in.
Yeah.
So for the most part,
other
you
than
haven't
this-
missed anything.
So we haven't missed any secret doors.
No.
But we have missed rooms on the third floor. So let's hit those first, and then get to the library, and then I'll make the checks to figure out what's in the basement, and then we'll go into the basement and probably die. I mean, but hopefully I can figure out exactly what it is, and we can come up with a battle plan.
There is evil to be slain. We cannot die here.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's massaging things. I, out of character, know because Strahd is not a nice place.
Well,
It's
when
not.
Sasha
I
knows
love
in
it.
character
Yep.
that it's not a nice place to.
Moving back down to the third floor is relatively easy. You cram yourselves in that narrow stairwell that led up to the attic, go back down, and now here you are.
Okay, so I do not remember the map looking like this, but this is probably the completed map.
There's also the.
So this is where we went in.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Now remembering.
Yep.
Let's go.
Stairway you
Let's
came
just
up.
go room to room.
This was
So
the attic stairway that you came down.
let's
This is my
try
bedroom.
this room first.
Mark, would you mind if, because this is that small ass kitchen that has the little dumbwaiter, correct?
Let me check.
We haven't checked out the
No,
rest
we
of
haven't
this.
checked
We
out the
came-
rest of this.
This
That
is
was
where
the
we
second
fought
floor.
the this is where we fought the armor, and then we immediately went in here and went up.
Yeah.
We have not checked out any of the rest of this. So first things first, I think we should check this room.
No, we didn't.
I remembered otherwise, but I believe that is
Yeah,
actually
because
correct.
we looked at some rooms and then
No,
there was
no,
some
no.
we didn't look at.
I just said, I believed otherwise, but I believe that is correct.
Also, I just edited this like 2 days ago. Trust me.
I also remember that we found the secret entrance and we went immediately up. We didn't go to any other rooms.
Which I thought was weird.
Well, now that you're pushing, I don't believe you.
So let's
Yeah.
check this door first.
David.
With Krak and Sakar. Sakar got a 20. No, sorry, a 21 on checking the door for traps.
Passive perception.
Did you want to check the door?
Yeah. And I rolled and got a fucking an actual 8. But if
Just
go
give me
by
a number.
roll, it's the passive is 12.
So give me the dice.
Sure.
Once again, you carefully check the door. You find no resistance, trap, or lock.
Nothing amiss.
Okay. We'll go for it. Sure. Why not? Is this like just a double door? Is that what that is?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
it is a double door. And when you push through that double door, you reveal a balcony.
Huh.
There's thick mist around the fringe of the balcony, but were it not there, it would likely overlook, you think, towards the front of the house?
Is there anything on the balcony? Or do we just see this up in there?
There's nothing really on the balcony.
Next door.
Maybe some
Nothing.
loose ivy or something.
I'll collect it.
It's valuable ivy right there.
This is Miss Ivy. You don't know.
Then, if you wish, you may.
Poison ivy.
No.
Yeah,
It's just
19.
Yeah, I got that thing too.
Head to head. Birds of a feather.
Birds of a feather.
Owl.
What are kenku if not owls?
What? I'm more mad because it's the cars now.
Think you look like crows.
Mr. Owl.
Yeah, that was trying to
What
be
is the
funny.
Tootsie Roll? Or how many lists does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll sandwiches?
You inspect the doorway.
That's fine.
Other than one of the door handles is a little tarnished, you find nothing of particular interest. Nor traps.
Get in there.
You could also go in there.
Yeah.
If you're interested.
I'm not.
You don't need to tell people you can go. You could. If you're interested in a room, you can just check out the room.
I have 12 armor class and 16 hit points. I'm not going in the room first. Literally ever in the history of time.
Right.
Unless something is chasing me.
If you're curious, I mean, you know. Inside this relatively small room, Sigurður sees some curtains which are drawn. There's a little crib, wooden. It's got some nice painting on it, and some nifty details. There's a chair, and a small table, upon which lay a few glass bottles, but without tops.
Search the room.
Yeah, I guess.
Anything of interest?
Generally search the room.
All right, go ahead.
Bones of a baby.
19.
All right.
Yeah, base 12. It's passive.
You don't have to keep saying it's your passive. You just say 12.
Hey. I don't know, I just feel weird not saying it.
Why?
Yes.
That's the number you got.
Well, it's just weird going by the passive over like the
The idea is that you can't be
On
less observant than
moving-
you passively are.
Yeah, I know. That's so
On-
weird, Ron.
Moving around inside the room, I suppose it would be Sakaro, but Sakaro notices that the cradle actually has something inside, partially obscured
Oh boy.
Not a
the
fucking baby
drapings,
ghost.
at least from the door.
Is it baby bones?
It appears to be a bundle that is baby-sized.
Okay. I will
Not
open
Dude.
it.
Then we have to be a baby. I hate that.
Or actually, I will open it like cautiously, like at a distance, using my my wand. I will like undo the bundles. What does Sakar see inside?
Perhaps trembling ever so slightly. Or not. Sakar sticks his... Sasha sticks his wand and nudges open the bundle, only for it to fall. It is empty.
That was a good ass swaddle somebody made. Jesus Christ.
And there's nothing else in the crib?
Fuck. Do
Just
I
an
roll
empty
that
bundle?
blanket?
Nothing that Sakaro spots.
Sakar.
Sorry.
I was afraid it would be a child.
I think we were all thinking the same thing.
Well, it was probably easier to walk away from a baby specter than a child.
I'm glad I'm not seeing any more specters today. if at all possible. But we have wasted enough time.
Room's done.
You two think so.
Alright. Go back to the starting area then.
Find more creepy baby stuff. Go.
Except
team.
now this hallway is full of porcelain dolls.
Spooky.
Fuck.
No, literally just right on top of Grayla.
My feet are tired.
Maybe feel to get beat the fuck out.
These are not my glasses.
Whose shoulders am I riding on?
Would you really hit a blind man?
I would. Especially one that can fire firebolts that don't feel bad. He's not.
Would you really inspect a door with the help of a blind man's owl? Is the not real question, but the question that I want to know.
What?
So we haven't looked at any other door on this floor. Just double check.
No, they don't.
Well,
I was thinking of something else.
Which one are we going for then?
That's where I crack.
Unless you wanted to check out something else.
No, I mean, if everything looks the same.
Basically, you said 12. And did I hear 19
20.
from... Okay.
I don't remember. This perception?
No.
Right. No.
Well, yes, but they're checking out the door. So the
16.
three of you check out the door. Crack
Just checking for
examines
traps.
the door. Grayla also moves up and checks out the door as well, maybe looking over the shoulder.
The door's pretty damn cramped.
Whatever's up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sikar is in his little person alcove and does his best to double, maybe even triple check work. No irregularities are found upon the door. And same for the floor.
But you didn't look at the ceiling. Now the spike trap falls.
No.
You checked this side of the door, but you didn't inspect the tile behind the door that was trapped.
Well, there was no way we could have.
Sigurd opens the door,
2 o'clock.
and what meets him are shelves of what appear to be cleaning supplies. Bottles of solution, buckets, rags. When he enters to get a better look, a broom on the far corner springs to life
What?
and aggressively begins sweeping its way towards him,
Wait, really?
as if mystically compelled. Yes, I will need initiative.
What? We're being attacked by a broom? Alright,
14.
10.
I'm just fucking dumbfounded. A broom is attacking me. Fucking what?
Well, we thought a baby swatter was gonna attack us, so.
It's true. He's right, you know.
It's like it's like the old saying, you know, baby swaddle left, so the beacon animated broom right.
What?
He's joking. Like, he's not
Okay,
serious.
yes, but there's between joking and just nonsense.
Is that not what the Kansas City Shuffle is about? Tricking your players with animated brooms?
No. It's about football.
Oh. What'd you get?
21.
Alright, you got 21.
7.
You got 7. Did I hear you get 22?
14.
Yeah, you got 14.
I got
I mean,
10.
if you want to write it down as 22, I'm down.
And I'm not even writing it down.
I got a 10.
And you got a 10.
Wait, we're just in the way. We'll just step to the side and just
You said it was aggressively
Maybe
sweeping.
you should.
Don't try to duck this.
The bottom of the broom bristles. What? It's already bristles.
It's your turn first.
Bristle broom.
Get in there, Crack. Kick its ass.
Getting that 1x2 room.
Wait,
That'd be like disadvantage.
how can you not hit big?
Well, me and Mario watched a drunk guy try to vehicle pole and miss. So I'm
Like
moving broom.
5 times in a
Yeah,
row.
a moving broom is probably harder to hit than a pole that doesn't move at all.
It's close, but it is a hit. It's a little squirrely.
Yeah, I got 11 damage.
To be fair, it's probably very awkward to hit moving broom.
Ah,
No, I'm gonna keep it.
if you got an ass, I'll kick it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a 14. And I got 6 damage.
Alright. Hit. Some more damage. For what it's worth, you have to make good use of your nimbleness, as Sigurd is in the door and it's relatively small. You do manage to like squeeze around and get those hits off, but it might have been a fluke and fancy maneuvers might be needed later. But for right now, you have dealt 2 blows to this broom, stripping its wood, chipping away at its bristles,
And it's self-esteem.
Bristles.
and perhaps its
Really?
self-esteem. Which I believe would make it your turn.
Kill me.
Yes.
You got the 14,
Yes.
and you got the 12. Right?
No. 7.
Oh.
Remember, I'm dumbfounded by a fucking broom.
And you were the 12?
I'm a 10. I don't know where the 12 came from.
Is that the broom that got the
Because of
12?
your eyes. Which you do.
I don't know.
I just didn't expect that.
I feel like David is
Fire
looking at
bolts.
me. I feel sexually harassed. I'm filing a complaint with HR.
Rough.
I have taken a screenshot of this session. He will not be harassed.
Does a 19 hit. It does have 2 more armor class from cover because 2 people are in my way.
That's still hit.
Okay.
I realize lighting a moving broom on fire is probably a bad idea because it's gonna go and like sweep around the house and light it all on fire.
Thus, my original plan will come to fruition. 7 damage. Fire. If it takes any more from fire. I don't know. It's wood, maybe.
It is difficult to tell, for when you assault it with flame, it catches greatly, burning eventually into nothingness.
I guess Starbucks.
The dark magics that animate this broom would no match for my flame.
Damn that Disney.
You're talking shit to a broom, Sasha. I'm not trying to take away what you did, but I'm just saying it's a broom.
And it was defeated this day.
Alright. Whatever.
I do not see what you are trying to say.
I'm saying it's a broom.
This broom, if left to its own devices, would have performed evil.
We also could have now opened the closet door and it would have done nothing.
So you would leave evil in its dark holes and its layers.
I don't think
For
the
other
broom
good
was
and
evil. The
innocence
broom
to
was
find.
just a broom.
The broom assaulted us. I
Brooms
would
do
be able
not
to
move.
defend myself.
I just saw it start sweeping, okay? And
Are you
then
calling me a broom murderer?
I don't think that's a thing because I don't think brooms are alive.
A broomer?
Thank you.
That'd be a broomer.
Hey, you're
I have pledged myself to the defeat of all dark magic, wherever it lies. In any hidden temple, or even as much as a simple broom.
even if you want to take that
Seems
as your
oddly
point,
specific.
we could have chopped that broom up and had more wooden stakes for like actual evil things.
As specific as his declaration may be, it is a bold declaration nonetheless. One that will likely be answered in time by all the various evils of
And their brooms.
Barovia and their brooms.
Oh my god.
Get next
I will
door.
destroy
that-
any broom that
Get to the next door.
advances evil.
You will,
Jesus Christ.
or will you? Next time, his resolve against evil brooms will be tested as they continue this pursuit
That's the monster in the basement.
of
No.
Death House's
It's a,
destruction.
It's an undead Mickey from Fantasia.
Okay. Necromancer.
And with that, we must sign off. Help me do this.
Okay. I am Mari Vilas. You can find me on Twitter at Lights Camera Initiative. I really enjoyed the session and really felt I got to roleplay Sasha's dedication to fight evil, big or small, wherever it may hide in the darkest castles or the most sinister of broom closets. And I ain't gonna take any of your shit about it. So yeah, it was a good session. I enjoyed it. That's my 2 cents.
Why, thank you. It's done wonders for my ego, so be swift in your signing off. A simple departure, perhaps?
I had fun too, although I feel like we're taking this broom thing a little too far. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it.
The debate rages. What say you?
I agree with him.
Yes.
Sick.
As long as
There's
it's
an
for you
agreement.
two and
One
your
final
stupid
piece.
broom fetish. I don't know what it is.
One final piece.
Trying to jump the
are you
broom
a
on
broomist?
fighting evil.
One final piece, or I'm gonna skip you.
Peace.
That's
Out.
Bye!
but
Oh my god. What is it with you and the broom?
because it's just a broom. For
So?
sakes, man. You're like, I'm here to destroy evil,
As the
starting
GM,
with this broom.
as the GM, I'm not supposed to take sides, but I think stuff like that is sick.
Beware the
They really
broom.
just shut up.
Put it down. I don't want to be touched by a dirty broom.
Berubia.
It's not Berubia. I'm gonna shove that stick up your ass if you don't stop touching me with that broom.